Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your friend Eagle858 with Garen Gaming, and today we're going to talk about Patch Day. It's Patch Day in Helldivers 2 and a new war bond. So we're going to tell you what you need to know, hit the highlights, tell you what they did, maybe what they missed, and also we'll give you our first impressions of the new weapons the war bond has brought with it. Stick around. So I figure the best way for us to run through this is just to go through the patch notes, see what they gave us. And from what I can tell, the main thing we're going to call this, instead of patch 1.000.400, I'm going to call it patch buff. Because as you will be able to see over there, I'm going to run a list of everything that got buffed really quick by you. And it's a lot. So we're going to run through it. We're going to go through quick. We're not going to hit every word on this list. I will, of course, link down below the link to this page so that you guys can also see the patch notes when you want and read through them to your heart's content for anything that I may have skipped over. And if I did skip something over that you think I should know about, leave a comment. Let me know what I missed. All right, so here we are. Patch 1.000.4. A lot, like I said, a lot of buffs. And we'll start off with the stratagems they're buffing. The rocket sentry's getting a buff. It's basically just going to be more effective. It's going to be longer ranged. It's going to have less rockets per salvo, but it's going to, since it's only using one instead of two per salvo, its ammo will last longer. So that's actually a buff. The machine gun sentry's getting a buff. Its cooldown's coming down by a minute. And all of the gun sentries and rocket sentries and autocannon sentries and mortar sentries, their durability is getting buffed up from 0, which I didn't know they were. Your durability was 0 to 80%, which I'm guessing is kind of going to act like armor, so they're going to take less damage per, or they'll just have more hit points. I don't know which way durability affects things in this game. The heavy machine gun emplacement you can have, it gets a buff, so you can rotate around twice as quick now. It's a 100% increase in the rotation speed. The anti-personnel minefield is getting a damage buff, so things blow up bigger. The incendiary minefield is getting more explosion damage, so things blow up bigger, which is kind of another way to look at this whole patch too. Things blow up bigger. Now, your orbital Gatling, its fire rate's been increased by 25%, and it's going to give you 60 rounds instead of 30 per salvo. And now it can damage heavy armored enemies, so more boom. And its cooldown was slightly shrunk from 80 to 70 seconds. The orbital precision strike's cooldown came down as well, and now it happens faster after you throw your marker from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. The orbital airburst strike, it has decreased cooldown now, so they took 20 seconds off its cooldown. The Eagle 110mm rocket pods, these look like a nerf a little bit because they're taking down the projectile damage, but what it is they're expecting the rockets to hit things more often, and now the armor penetration has gone highly up. So you're not needing as much splash damage from them because you're penetrating their armor and you're just going to knock them out that way. Eagle Strafing Run, you're going to get more of them, and now it has better armor penetration, so heavily armored enemies will get hurt by them at least. The Grenade Launcher is getting a buff, more boom, 350 to 400 on its damage. The Heavy Machine Gun, we're going to get more damage on it. You're going to get you're getting an increased projectile damage against durable body parts. So you get about another 10% there, and the reload time's gone down, and staggering has gone up. So things, when they're rushing you, don't get to you quite as quick. And then the handheld things. So the machine gun itself, you're going to get a decreased reload time by a half a second, and the max amount of magazines go from 3 to 4. And also with all of these machine guns, so the sentry machine guns, the Gatling guns on the exosuits, and then the sentry and the machine gun you can carry, the projectile damage is going up 10 points, and you're also getting quite significant, about 3 times increase in damage against durable body parts. So from 7.5 to 25%. So the Liberator and the Stalwart and the Guard Dogs all have an increase too in their projectile damage against durable body parts. So that's essentially a buff to all of them. You know, they're just going to be more damaging. The Liberator Concussive, you're going to get more damage to durable body parts. The Adjudicators, getting a bigger magazine, and they're increasing the damage to body parts. Probably the most controversial one here is going to be the AR-61 Tenderizer. I know a lot of people were disappointed with that in the last war bond. So they're increasing the damage from 60 to 95, and they're increasing the durable parts damage almost double, from 10 to 17%. But it looks like they're nerfing it just a little bit by taking your ammo capacity down and the amount of magazines that you carry down. But, and to finish off the list, you are getting a buff, and it was supposed to be, I remember that it was sold in the war bond as being more staggering to your enemy, so they're increasing the stagger strength again. So while you're shooting less projectiles, you'll keep people at arm's reach a lot more, and you're going to be doing a lot more damage to them when you do, as long as you're not hitting armor. The Purifier, they're increasing its armor penetration and decrease the damage, the explosion damage, which again, if you're getting through the armor, you don't need the splash damage so much. Crossbows being buffed, you're getting more armor penetration. You're getting demolition strength, meaning you can go after bug holes and fabricators easier. And I don't know what added medium penetration tag. I guess they're talking the hit markers that we get, but I'm not sure on that one, to tell the truth. The Eruptor got a buff from 420 to 570 damage per shot. Diligence increased its damage against durable body parts. And they made a change in the recoil mechanics just to make being prone a bit more worthwhile. So now coming into the gameplay portion of it, they removed the modifier on some of the planets where there was anti-aircraft defense, so they'd take away one of our stratagem slots. They didn't like that. They thought that was probably too much of a thing, so they removed that. They took out the Retrieve Essential Personnel mission because, one, it was buggy, and two, none of us liked it, probably because it was buggy. So they're going to work on that some more. One I like a lot is they're making super samples available down to level 6 so that you're not gatekeeping quite so hard. So if someone doesn't want to play level 7 or above and commit suicide, or they're new, they can still collect some super samples along the way. Another one I really liked is now the Super Earth Artillery that you can bring online in some of the missions sticks around after your destroyer leaves and isn't blocked by ion storms. So things that happen in space and in the atmosphere don't affect your artillery that is based on the ground. And a quick one for the social side of things, you can now have invite-only lobbies, so you can turn off anybody just randomly joining you, and also your friends just randomly joining you in case you want to be alone. They will have to get an invite to join your lobby, period. As part of the new war bond, they came out with some new armors, and they added a new armor passive, which is called Peak Physique, which means you get a 50% buff to your melee damage and a 30% buff to weapons ergonomics, meaning you're just going to handle your gun better while you beat the hell out of people with it. They made some changes to the spike plants, the fire tornadoes. Apparently, fire tornadoes would chase people around. They don't do that anymore. They made some changes to tremors, and they added some more visual effects for an ion storm, so it's more obvious. It looks like that one's around. And one that I like too is they're kind of nerfing the fog on some planets in a lot of cases, just because they're saying it's a little too hazy. They still want that feel, but it's been a little too much. And one of the big ones for me is this nerf to bile spewers and nursing spewers, they're doing a couple things. If spewers now get slowed, they lose their legs. The spewer puke now applies the acid effect, which is a slowing effect. But the big one here, the big nerf is now the spewer puke can only damage you up to 4 times per second. You're not going to get that I died immediately the second they spew at you, which is going to be a plus because it's just a raging pain in the butt where it's just like, I'm going to die. I was passing my way through and out, and I died because, yes, it was almost an insta-kill in some of the cases. The last two I think I'm going to really focus on here are supply lines. So now in the Galactic War map, you can see the supply lines. You don't have to go to Reddit or some other app to figure out where you should be attacking if you care about that kind of stuff, which is a huge quality of life improvement in my opinion. And they fixed the spear. Now you can actually lock onto things and shoot missiles at things like it's supposed to without running around waving your spear reticle over things and hoping to God that it eventually will lock on. And beyond the spear, they have, as you will see scrolling by down there, a whole list of fixes, crash fixes, and all this. And now they still have some that they're going to be working on. Obviously, you can go through and read all those. I will not do that for you here because I doubt you want to hear it. So that's it. That is the patch notes. Now, if you want to hear about the war bond, we'll hop over that way. Well, all right, and here we are in the new VIper Commando's Premium War Bond. And there's a lot of fun stuff in here. Now, I think some people may be a little disappointed because of the past war bonds had more weapons come with them. So in this one, you have a primary, which is the Liberator Carbine. You have the 3-shelled shotgun, the Bushwhacker, SG-22 Bushwhacker. And you have a throwing knife that replaces your grenades. So that's it. That's the 3 new weapons that they brought out for this war bond. But we did get lots of skins, and I think one of my favorite ones is the new armor. The new look is perfect. You got the arms out. You can look awfully good in your new stuff, and it's not just. I think that was one of the problems was a lot of the armor was just starting to look like the same armor with a different color on it. So this, obviously, they had to put a lot more work into, but also you can get, a hell pod camouflage scheme because who needs their hell pod to look all bland and normal? And you can get other armor, and you can also get, where'd it go? Am I blind? Where are you at? There it is. Sorry. You can get the extraction shuttle to be cool colored. So I don't know. It's a lot of cosmetic stuff, but I think it looks good. And then the weapons. We'll talk about the weapons here really quick. I've had a chance to play around with the Bushwhacker and with the carbine, the Liberator carbine, and I love it. Like, that's the beautiful thing about the carbine is they say that they increased the bullet spread even though it shoots faster and the damage went up. I haven't really noticed a lot of extra bullet spread to it, but you still get the damage, you get the stagger, and you get the increased rate of fire, and you get a bigger magazine than your other Liberators. So I think it's if you like using the Liberator, that this is the Liberator for you. The shoddy pistol, which is nice, now you can have a shotgun and a rifle at the same time. It's not bad. It's better against the bugs than it is against the automatons. But in both cases, it can be used and used well. Definitely, I would think maybe against the automatons, you might want to think about something else. But against the Terminids, this is the way to go as well, in my opinion. And unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to unlock the knife. I don't have enough medals yet but it's on my list of things to do. But from what I've seen of the play, it looks fun. You know, you throw knives at people, but you only get 8. So make those 8 count until you resupply anyway. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is patch 1.000.400 in a nutshell, quick as we can. Hopefully, you know, less than 10 minutes is what I'm going to aim for. But if I got one over that, let me know too in the comments and tell me what a bastard I am for it. And also tell me if you like this kind of content. I'm trying to push this out just a little bit quicker, be a little bit more spontaneous, be a bit more reactive. Let me know if this is something that you guys are interested in, or you don't want to be interested in it and you just join the channel for the shorts. But speaking of joining the channel, if you liked it, hit the subscribe button. It helps us out. Hit the thumbs up button. That helps us out with the algorithm and gets us shared even more. We're trying to grow around here at Gear and Gaming. So, do those things for us, and after you do that, get on out of here. Go play some Helldivers. Have some fun, and we'll see you again.